Hello, Eastern Region. Welcome back to another episode in our Providence Conference Conversations. And I am so excited to have Sophia Miller here with us tonight to speak to and get to know a little bit better. Sophia is the conductor for our elementary honor choir, grades 4 through 6, and they will be performing Saturday morning at the end of our conference. And Sophia, welcome. We're so glad to have you here, and thank you for conducting our elementary honor choir.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited and I can't believe it's already almost here.
It is almost here. Like, we are days away, and there's definitely an excitement in the air for sure. And we're just so glad because, we were supposed to have you in 2022, and now you're
Hmm.
back because the elementary honor choir experience did not happen for that student, that section of our student body, so to speak, that year. And so we're just so, so happy that you were able to come back and to make music with our very youngest singers at the conference. So thank you. We're really excited.
I am too. It's all about meeting the moment, and I was really thrilled to be asked again. After 2022 was not able to move forward with the elementary singers, and I'm just so excited that it's finally here.
Yes, it is finally here. So, with all of our interviews in this series, we always ask everyone to please introduce themselves because there are so many people throughout all 11 states, 11 chapters of our region that may not have worked with you before or gone to school with you or run into you, in a conference or professional settings. And we want everyone to get to know you. So if you could just tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to choral music and kind of where you are right now, within the art form.
Sure, thanks.
Yeah.
I am a person who can't remember a time I didn't sing. And I remember just something attaching me to the the experience of singing. I remember my elementary school music teacher, who was my general music teacher at first, but then I got to be in chorus. I remember our school had fifth and sixth grade chorus, my elementary school, and I was so eager to become a fifth grader so that I could join this chorus. I loved my teacher. I loved singing. My favorite days in music class were when we were singing. And it just continued and grew over the entire course of my young life as a child, as a preteen, as a teenager. And simultaneously, I was growing this appreciation for the idea of working with children. Both of my parents work with children, worked with children professionally. My mom is a retired speech therapist. She worked in elementary schools, and my dad is a pediatrician. And, I grew up during the time of take your daughter to work day, and I would go with them, on those days and other days too, and just think, my parents are so cool. They just get to hang out with kids all day. And it just became this thing where I was like, oh, what I love music. I love singing. I love being around children. This is all just something that I want to mix together to build my life with. And my love and passion and experience and practice with music and singing really grew in high school. I had an incredible teacher named Ned Fleischer in the Capital District of upstate New York. And went on to study music education and conducting at Ithaca College. And just it just was the thing I always knew I wanted to do, was work with music and work with young people. And so I started out as an elementary school general and choral music teacher in upstate New York, in Cortland, New York. And then I soon moved down to New York City. I spent 15 years total as a part of the family and the team at Young People's Chorus of New York City, which is where I've spent most of my career. And so just have really kind of grew up as a teacher and as a conductor with the organization and with my colleagues there, and with Francisco Nunez, the founder, who also is doing our commissioned piece this year, which we'll talk about a little later, I think.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth Nunez, and just um, spent my entire have spent so much of my time just growing my understanding of not only my love for music, but also just the different ways that young people create and work together and build and make art and their creative ideas, was just really cultivated during that time. And I grew so it was just such a beautiful way that my career shifted a little bit away. I loved teaching in the schools, but to kind of move into the nonprofit children's choir world is something that I was really thrilled to move to, because I just knew I wanted to make music with choirs all the time. I learned a lot as a general music teacher, but I just as I did when I was a child, I just wanted to be with choirs and choruses. And so yeah, that's where I landed. I spent a little bit of time in the middle of that time actually relocating with my family to Boston for a short time.
Okay.
And I also was very lucky to work with the Boston Children's Chorus for a couple of years, and with that beautiful team there. I have done a lot of work with the Savannah Children's Choir down in Georgia. For about 4 years, I was in residence there in the summertime. And now I do a lot of different things. I travel a lot to do guest conducting and clinician work, and offer professional development to teachers all over the country. And I love it so much. I love it's always beautiful to come home to your choir that you get to spend the most time with. And there's also just something really magical about traveling and kind of meeting for a really finite amount of time and
Mhm.
create. There's a magic to that too that
Mhm.
I have grown really, really fond of over the years. And it's what makes me so excited to be part of this, because I think that, it all kind of connects back to each other, both the choirs that are sort of in our home base and the choir experiences that we get to travel out and have, both the children and the grown-ups like me and all of the people who collaborate to make that happen. So it's a beautiful and really celebrated part of what I'm doing with a lot of my time now.
Yeah, it really is. I was speaking with a colleague the other day just about that kind of that festival process and how unique and special it is. That really compressed time where you are a choir for that brief moment in time, and then you take all of that amazing energy and you take it back to your home choir. So kind of the kids all benefit, they take it back to their choirs, and you as the conductor, you take it back to your people as well. It's a really special process.
It is, and it also, they bring the energy from their home choirs to that as
100%.
well. And I think
Yes.
that it's just this
Yes.
really cool and interesting cyclical experience that
Mhm.
it teaches me so much every time. It's just truly an experience where I feel like I leave just bits and pieces of my heart everywhere, because
Yeah.
it is so it is a really big honor to be invited into someone's musical family.
Mhm.
And I feel like, to you know become a part of that for whatever moment in time, whether it's a full year or for a few days, whatever that is, it's a really special thing to be part of together.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all curious. I've been asking all of the other conductors, what can we expect? What are we looking forward to? What sneak peek can you give us into the pieces that the elementary, choir will be learning and experiencing together and performing for all of us on Saturday?
So there are a couple of pieces on this program that I'm especially excited. I'm really excited about the whole program. I'm like thinking to myself, ooh, what little sneak peeks can I give you? And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
yeah,
love it all.
it's all great.
Yes.
Um, yeah, you know, for me, as I thought through this program, I wanted to think about each piece as a celebration of light and growth and renewal. And so every piece on the program in some way draws back to those themes and those ideas. We're starting the entire program with a piece by Jim Papoulis. It's called From Where is Light? And this is a piece that I had asked Jim to write many years ago. And at the time, I remember just saying, I've always been called to light as a concept in a lot of ways. And I wanted to I asked if he would write a piece that would celebrate light that comes from within and from the perspective of a child. And so this
Awesome.
piece is just sort of, it opens the program as an idea of where does light come from? And in the end, us discovering that it comes from us. A little bit later in the program is a piece that I really love, and I've programmed many times, and I'm especially excited to program it now. It's Andrea Ramsey's Grow a Little Tree. And this piece is a setting of an anonymously written an anonymously written poem about encouraging the growth and that we will grow alongside one another. And it is just a gorgeously set poem and really poignant piece. I'm really excited about what as I've been programming the piece more recently, I've asked myself and I've asked young people to offer their thoughts on the idea that this piece is set so that the entire poem is repeated. So we get to hear the whole piece twice, and how powerful it can be to reiterate a sentiment, especially something like encouraging growth within one another and alongside one another. And so I'm really excited to explore that with these singers as well and see how that translates to our performance. And that will take us through, we're also doing a new setting of Here Comes the Sun, which is a well-known, beloved tune. It's a new setting by Matt and Adam Pod, and it is a really beautiful, it's a beautiful, gentle sort of reimagination of the piece a little bit that I'm very excited to get into with these singers that just kind of, for me, brings the program almost to the end where the idea that we're searching for light and then we kind of see it coming is through the setting of this piece is just going to be a really beautiful moment. And then finally we end in our commissioned piece by Francisco Nunez, which is called Space Hurricane. And a space hurricane, if you look up a space hurricane, you can see an image of what it is. It is this geomagnetic storm that happens in space, and it's really beautiful and really cool and really takes shape in this circular way that this piece that Francisco has written pulls together different layers and different elements that come into the creation of it, but also that that you, as you look at it, you kind of experience different pieces of it one by one. So that's kind of heard in the music as well. And we'll start to hear all of these layers and how they're experienced and how it offers a pulling together of the visualization of this incredible storm of light. And that we get to sort of experience this really incredible phenomenon. I'm really excited about this piece for a lot of reasons. It's also been such a long time coming. This was also part of our 2022 preparations. So it's been a piece that has been, getting ready for a long time as well. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited to finally bring that to the singers and to the audience.
Mhm.
And this entire program is full of simplicity and complexity that I think really celebrates the voice of the young child and the abilities, the capabilities, and the artistic creativity and minds of young children. So I'm really excited to bring it all to Providence.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I mean, selfishly, I'm very, very excited because I'm going to be the one presiding over over that concert.
Yay.
And I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be there and in person to experience it. So, everybody at the conference, stick around for Saturday morning because you are not going to want to miss this. You need to be here to hear these pieces and hear these students sing. And thank you for sharing that with us.
Or
It gets us all excited for all of that wonderful art and singing that we are going to experience with you. Um, the other kind of vein that I was hoping to go in this conversation was just to ask you really about ACDA and specifically this conference. But what is your first memory or like connection point with
mm,
the organization with ACDA? You know, a lot of people have said, "Well, I was a student and I sang at a conference or, whatever it might be." But I'm curious what your first connection point was.
yeah, what a great question. I was a student and I was on, so when I was at Ithaca College, I was on our student chapters board.
Okay.
And we sort of had the ACDA student chapter had not been terribly active for a while, and I remember the board was made up of folks who we all happened to be very close friends.
Hmm.
We were really moving through our undergraduate experience together in a really, really close and connected way. And we were feeling really just so excited and energized by this idea of sort of a rebuilding of this student chapter and what that could mean and what that could look like and how we could serve our student body and how the larger picture of ACDA worked so that we
Hmm.
could understand how we could be a part of it.
Hmm.
And it was through that I attended my first conference. I did also sing at an ACDA conference while I was a student, while I was a college student as well, with the Ithaca College women's choir at the time, women's chorale, with Janet Galvan. And you know, and that's a very different experience of it because you're sort of traveling with your choir and you're getting ready for a
Hmm.
performance and you're immersed in the world of it, but not quite in the same
Sure.
way. Whereas when I felt like as such an active, we were just so eager in that student chapter, and we won outstanding student chapter that year too. And it was,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. Where was
We
it
were,
held that year?
I think that was LA, right?
Oh, was that a
Was that
national
LA?
conference?
I believe so. I'm like,
Okay.
for some reason, I'm now trying to I'm doubting my
I
memory,
know.
but I'm pretty sure
There's
that's
so many
correct.
conferences. I know.
Like, wait a minute, that was a million years ago. All of a
I
sudden, I
know.
just
It's okay.
remembered how long ago that was.
Oh my gosh.
Um, but yeah, it just was a really impactful, it was really impactful to me because, of course, um, as I moved through, you know, becoming a young teacher and a young conductor, the conferences and the engagement with ACDA started to look and feel different to me, of
Yeah,
course, but
sure.
it really is so impactful as a student. And I have to say, there was a conference that I was at once where I was approached by a college student who shared that they were just, I had given a session and this college student just came up to me and said, I really enjoyed your session. Thank you so much. I go to this college and I'm wanting to be a choral director, and this is my first conference, and that interaction really impacted me for a number of reasons. It brought me back to that time that I was a college student and that eagerness that I had. It also I also thought to myself, I think as a college student, as eager and excited as I was, I also would have been like nervous to approach somebody and talk. And I was so excited by just that really brief exchange. And it
Mhm.
made me really sort of nostalgic for my own student experience, and also really inspired by the students that I was meeting at now where I am in my
Right.
professional, life. And so I think that those first student experiences really do just speak to something in your
Mhm.
sort of budding years that just can't, that's a whole energy all its own. And I really can call upon that so readily. And it's really fun to remember.
Absolutely. Is there something that you're looking forward to about this conference, like other than the obvious, of conducting this amazing choir, and meeting all these directors and kids and all of the enormous fun that comes along with that? Is there anything else that you're really looking forward to in Providence?
I'm pausing because I'm like, what else am I going to be able to do? Um,
Maybe, maybe like headlining choirs, or just
yeah,
seeing friends, or, I
yeah,
just didn't
yeah,
know if there was something that you might, because I know you're very focused on your job
yeah,
and you
of
don't get
course.
to attend in the same way,
Sure.
that other people do. Um, but I just didn't know if maybe there was
Yeah.
something that you were looking forward to.
Okay, I can do it. I can do it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I love the energy of a conference in general. It's so great to reconnect. Sometimes it's the only time in the year that you see some of your friends and colleagues, and you remain connected in other ways. Sorry, my dog is I'm gonna
Oh,
need to
my
do
dog
that
was
again.
making noise like 2 minutes ago. It's fine. It's
Okay.
life. It's all good.
Excuse me. Okay, we'll try that again.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I love a conference. I'm so excited to just get there and connect and see people and take in what I can
Yeah,
at while I can in the times that I'm not in rehearsal. And I'm always inspired by hearing choirs. I'm always inspired by, learning from my colleagues, both in formal and informal ways. I
sure.
really value the sessions, and I really value those times when you're just sort of hallway chatting and all of that great stuff. I also am particularly excited and proud and just so tickled. It's any word seems silly to describe the feeling I have of pride for Dr. Jenna Galvan, who I referenced before.
Yeah.
She is receiving the Helen Kemp Lifetime Achievement Award. She was my just dear mentor and influence
Oh,
and professor at Ithaca College, and to see her receiving this incredibly well-deserved honor,
yes.
knowing how much she impacted my life and still impacts my life. She's still somebody I call and ask for,
Oh, I love
programming advice and bounce ideas around with. And
that. Right.
I really I know that I am just one of a great many people whose lives she has touched in so many ways. And I am so excited to see her receive that award. So I can't wait for that on Thursday night.
Yes, me too. I think it's wildly appropriate that we are
Yeah,
awarding Janet with this recognition. I can't wait for that moment in the conference. It's going to be very, very special. She is so amazing and so deeply beloved by so many people. And I think it will be a really special moment. I
me
really,
too.
really do. So,
Yeah.
well, Sophia Miller, thank you so much for your time. I
Thank
appreciate it
you.
so much. And we are going to see you in, oh my gosh, How many days is it? Is
Do you
it,
have a countdown
I
going? It's
think it's 20 days.
20 days. Okay.
Isn't it? What's the date today?
Today is the 12th.
Today is the
Yeah.
12th. Oh, no, less than that. What am I
I was gonna
saying?
say, no, that's not right. It's less than
That's I'm like, what is the date? It is so much sooner than that. Let's see. It is actually um 15 days.
amazing. I can't wait.
15 days until it all starts. It's going to get wild. It's going to be great. And we are so excited. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
And we will
you.
all be at the concert on Saturday morning with you and those amazing elementary singers.
I
Okay.
can't wait.
All right.
Can't wait. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you. See you soon.